日本時間5月17日、ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が敵地でのエンゼルス戦に1番 DH で先発出場をしました。この日の大谷選手は4打数2安打、2四球、5打点の活躍で勝利に貢献。また、8回にはライト線を破る安打を放つと一気に三塁へ。ライトのアデル選手の送球がそれ、その間に大谷選手は本塁に滑り込んで生還するシーンがあり、場内は騒然となる場面も。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Manoah's 0-1. Ohtani pulls it to the right field corner. It's a fair ball. Muncy is in. Call gets the green light. Ohtani to third. Hey, two-run triple. The ball in the infield. Shohei's coming home. He's safe. It looked like the ball got into the net down the right field line. Joe Adell keeps pointing back there.
Yeah, that ball is a ground rule double.
Kurt Suzuki now conferencing with the umpiring crew. The umpire is talking right there on the right side of the screen is Alex McKay. He's at first base, so that's his territory down the line.
Well, you start with first and second and 2 out. And the ball is fair down the line, but when it hits the netting, it is a ground rule double. Fair, and now the netting holds it in the park.
Los Angeles Angels is challenging the ball when out of play.
It should be pretty quick. New York's probably already looked at it. Call will be placed at third. Ohtani will be placed at second.
At the very least, those guys get time to catch their breath from the running. The heads-up base running from Ohtani. It's the point you made the other day, Oral. Basically, play through the whistle. Don't play umpire.
Right. Yep. Hoppy is immediately pointing out to the umpire that hit the netting and unplayed umpire.
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball is left in play. Los Angeles Angels lose the chance.
How is that in play?
Ohtani had geared back up to come out.
The Dodger replay guys have watched it and will warn the bench of what is going to happen, but I don't understand that.
Not seeing anything in the Angels ground rules that discusses the net. The netting extends all the way to the pole.
Unless they determine that the ground rules here that the netting is part of the wall. That is really odd.
Now you're flabbergasted.
It's like I've never seen anything like it. They're almost saying like it's a wild pitch and the ball goes off the backstop netting, so it's like part of the backstop. But it's not the backstop down there.
Down to right field, you're saying?
Yeah, down to right field. It's not in the ground rules. Definitely going to check on this a little bit deeper and hopefully have an answer for you before the end of the game, because I would like an answer too.
Another look. Ohtani pulled it down the line. It hopped into the net.
It hit in fair territory.
Right.
And it is in the net.
He loops this ball to the right field corner. That is a fair ball. An extra base hit that will score Muncy. I thought that ball landed in the seats. They're saying it did not. And now it skips through the infield. Shohei's going to try to score. Here comes the flip home. They can't get it off. Ohtani makes it all the way around Little League style. Joe Adell says that ball landed out of play. It's 9-2 for now. But this looked
that ball
like
hit the net.
Yeah, it automatically appeared to be over the wall. I don't know what the deal is here.
Yeah.
You can tell from here that it one-hopped over the fence and hit the screen, which is out of play. This should be a ground rule double. You can challenge the ground rule.
That ball was not even hit hard either. It was off the end of the bat to stay right down that line and stayed fair.
I mean, it's way above that green wall, which is out of play. At that point, it's a ground rule double. Adele showing his hands up to signify the ball is out of play. This will be a ground rule check, which will be a very quick call here. I mean, it's extremely obvious. This will be an automatic ground rule double for Shohei, which will put Muncy home and Alex Call at third base.
Every baseball hit in this inning was softly hit. I don't quite understand why you don't see that unless I'm not saying something.
Well, what are you looking for if you're not looking at that? So this will put two more men on the bases and erase 2 runs for now. It's 7-2 as Ohtani gets the RBI. Would have been interesting if there really was no error there. I guess it might have been on the throw in. This would have been a triple with an error, but it will be switched here if Jim Wolf could tell us.
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball is left in play. Los Angeles Angels.
How is the ball in play? How is that possible? I mean, that is completely confounding. That ball very, very clearly goes off the screen, which is out of play.
I mean, look at that even reaction for Joe Adele.
That is an incredible call. Confirmed. Mookie Betts takes ball 1, so it would have to be now a 2-run triple and an error that allowed Ohtani to come home for what is a Little League home run. I don't think they would just give him a straight up inside the park home run, but I don't know, maybe they will, just because, why not? After calling that a ball in play, you might as well just say it's an inside the park home run.
Shohei, what a night for you. What a night for the team. A 4-game winning streak now that started on the night that you pitched 7 scoreless innings. A lot of nats tonight, right, Shohei?
虫がいっぱいいて4連勝で、ショーのいい登板から始まりましたけども、そうですね、いい流れで来てると思うので、また明日早いですし、切り替えて5連勝できるように頑張りたいなと思います。
Yeah, picking up good momentum. It's an early game tomorrow, but we want to do what we did today.
You played here a lot of years. This was the first season they put the netting all the way down to the foul pole. Did you realize that when you hit it down there, it was going off the netting?
ずっと向こうまでネットを貼り付けたの今年なんですけども、それって知ってましたかと。
いや、知らなかったですね。僕が行ったことはなかったので、はい。僕は当たったかどうか分かんなくて、とりあえず全力で走りましたけど、結果的に良かったんじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, I didn't know about this netting. You know, since when I played here, there wasn't any netting, but I just kept running.
How much fun was it tonight to run the bases the way you did, not only on the triple, the double? How much fun did you have again tonight?
本当に打撃も走塁もいっぱいランできて、楽しかったですかと。
そうですね。エンジェルスファンもそうですし、ドジャースファンも所属している2つのチームのファンの方々の前でプレーできるというのは僕にとっては特別なことなので、そこでいいパフォーマンスができるっていうのは特別なことだなと思ってます。
Yeah, just happy to be able to perform in front of both Dodger fans and Angels fans. So I was really happy I was able to contribute a lot today.
Last one. Posture feeling good again?
姿勢は大丈夫ですかと、バッティングの。
よくはなってるかなとは思うので、引き続き頑張りたいなと思ってます。
Going the right direction. Yeah.
Thank you for stopping.
Thank you.
And 5 RBIs for Shohei Ohtani in the final 2 innings. It was still a 6-2 game, so not completely completely in the win column for the Dodgers at that point, Jerry. And then they get the triple by Shohei Ohtani into the netting, scored a couple of runs. And at that point, this game was pretty much over.
It was a triple and an error, not an inside-the-park home run. But again, I love the fact that Shohei Ohtani kept running. The guys kept running. And even though it was an awkward play, because I thought we all assumed if it hits the netting, obviously it bounces in fair territory, then hops up, hits the netting, we all assume that it's a dead ball because it would have went with no netting there a few years back, it would have went in the stands. But these guys kept hustling, kept running, and Shohei Ohtani did not assume anything. And the rules, Nomar shared with us in the studio that it acts like a wall. So it's in play. Great job, Shohei Ohtani, hustling around. It was that triple. They kicked the ball around, and he was able to score on the air.
You're right. Don't assume anything. Let the umpires figure it out later. If they have to send you back, they have to send you back. So they did exactly what they were supposed to do. But Shohei Ohtani obviously had a great 5 RBIs. It's really good to see him squaring up some balls, swinging the bat well, getting the extra base hits, continuing working on getting that confidence. I think up and down the lineup, I just really like you have 7 of the 9 guys, 7 different guys had RBIs today. So found a way to knock guys in. So that was really good to see. And guys, you know, up and down, all starters found a way to get on base at some point throughout this game.
Go to the top of the 8th inning, and there was some confusion, Tim Salmon, at least on the field with Joe Adell, and it centered around Shohei Ohtani with 2 on, lines one down the right field line. Tim, it bounces. It looks like it should have been a ground rule double. It hits that netting in foul territory. Joe Adell put his hands up. Shohei Ohtani is going to come all the way around to score. It would later be scored a triple, 2 RBI, and a throwing error by Joe there to get Shohei home. Here is the umpire's call.
The call is confirmed. The ball is left in play. Los Angeles Angels.
So you take a look at that play. Joe Adell at the end of the inning is talking to the umpires, trying to understand what the call was. In your guesstimation, it was in play. That's part of the rule book.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't even really know what the play, what the call is. I mean, these nets, you know, they've extended them. Every year it's a little differently. It's a little different. So I don't think anybody upstairs, we really understood what the, you know, it's not your typical ground rules play. I mean, you don't see that. Have we ever seen a ball hit the net like that? We haven't down here. We were trying to figure out how long has that net been down that far. I mean,
I know I'm Googling it, trying to find out one of those nets for float up.
Yeah, so, you know, it's not your typical play. It didn't look like the players obviously knew what the ruling was. Zuka, you know, it doesn't seem like he kind of knew what the ruling was, or maybe he did. I don't know. But it's not your typical play. And, you know, with the way these nettings are being created on these fields to protect the fans, you know, from year to year it can change. Yeah. And, you know, it's one of those fluke things that might just happen once during the course of a year where it comes into play. And I think everybody's out there. I think, you know, from a player standpoint, you know, you always get the ball and you play it. You know, you don't just assume, you know, especially in that situation. I don't think, you know, Joe knew the rule, obviously, and he threw his hands up like it was a dead ball. We assumed it was a dead ball. But obviously, it's your home ballpark. You need to know what the ground rules are. And I think at the end of the day, that's the one that, you know, it just makes it so awkward. You know, it's just an awkward play, and nobody knew what the rule was.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was a tough one. Obviously, before the nets were down the line, the ball bounced into the stands, and it's 2 bases. But, you know, we just challenged. We thought maybe a fan might have hit it in, and they didn't, obviously. So, you know, unfortunate.
Shohei's little league home run. What was going through your head as you watched that unfold?
I mean, that's something Shohei would do. You know, not a lot of people can do stuff like that. Be fast enough to get around the bases, but he figures out a way.
When you went out for the first game of the series, were you aware of the netting being in play? Was there any concern that may not stand as a triple?
No, because the ground rules here are the netting. If it hits, it's in play. So that wasn't a question. I didn't really know what they were challenging, but no, we weren't concerned about that.
What was going through your head as he was rounding the bases and you watched that all unfold?
I didn't have a good vantage point, so I didn't know if a fan interfered with this or if it was down the line further. So I thought, yeah, just a little league home run, you know. So it was good to see him hustle.
Shohei's already starting to show signs of coming out of it, but could a play like that, like scoring in such a weird fashion, kind of help open him up even further, especially with the double right afterwards?
Well, I think that what shows is his effort level going around there for the double. initially and to continue to go. So I think that's, for me, that was most telling. You know, I think the bat speed was good, the swings were good, at bat's good, but then the hustle, that there's just more in the tank right now.
His last at bat, exit velocity was 117 miles in the ninth inning.
Yeah, off the bat. Yeah. I mean, he's got his kind of. I think he's just, we were hoping to get a reset with a couple days off, and I think, that's what happened.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。